Just now, I tried to record this video, but it turned out my audio sharing settings were off, and it's probably for the best because I was yelling, and I don't think my mic, which is pretty old nowadays, and I don't think it can handle me yelling into it. So I'm doing it again. I'll try to stay calm, but this issue really irks me. And as you can probably tell, it has to do with Genshin Impact. Specifically, Genshin Impact's writing and storytelling. So, major spoilers for those who play Genshin Impact and care about the story and following along with the story, because this is pretty big. It's referring to the main plot line of the game, and so yeah, major spoilers again. So I'm gonna bring up the dialogue and or the dialogue history because I just started the new Archon quest with not Archon quest. I think it's still called an Archon quest. I don't really care right now. The main quest has to do with the main plot line of the game, and these two characters, or my character and Paimon, they come to this cave and they find this hilly churl that has a hilly churl is a monster for those who don't play this game, or a type of monster that was docile, and as soon as it saw us, it ran off and left behind this really futuristic looking device. It turns out this is a key. A key to what, you may ask? Well, I'm going to open up the dialogue history and show you for yourself. And it happens to be that it's the key that, and as according to Aether, or my character, the key to the hibernation chamber on the spaceship. The key to the hibernation chamber on the spaceship. Paimon goes, "What do you mean? What's hibernation chamber? What spaceship?" And that's what I was thinking. That's what I think every player was thinking. But then Paimon says, "What you mean the spaceship? The one that brought you to Teyvat?" I can feel myself getting frustrated. Excuse me, Hoyoverse, what fucking spaceship? What? What are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? Are you for almost 5 years, 6 years? I don't know how much time has passed. I'm not really paying attention because I'm so fucking frustrated. There's a spaceship? A hibernation chamber on the spaceship? Which I can assume a hibernation chamber refers to like cryostasis or some way of like keeping people like asleep in stasis so they don't age. But a spaceship? So the problem I'm trying to bring here, and what I'm trying to mention, why I keep repeating spaceship in a sort of rhetorical questionable tone, that's not a word, rhetorical question type of tone, is because when you are writing a story, and this is coming from somebody who is just about done with his bachelor's degree in creative writing. I know that's not like probably a doctorate or a master's, but I know a few things about basic fucking storytelling. And one of the things you don't do in storytelling is keep important pivotal information regarding your main fucking plot line secret from your players and then bring it up like it's been fucking talked about, like it's just common knowledge between the main characters. You don't do that. Because we, the players, don't know that. I can't. I just don't understand. I felt such tonal whiplash from this shit that I was like, I had to stand up and be like, did I remember? Was there a mention of a spaceship anywhere in the story? And then I had to Google it because I was like, I don't think there was. And then I Google it, and I see a few people from different forums, like Reddit and the Genshin wiki, be saying like, what spaceship? So they're echoing the same sentiment as I am. It could be possible that there's some story hidden in the minor quests of the game that bring this to light. But the problem is that if that's the case, that's not good storytelling, even if it is in the game. Because if it's such a important piece of information to know about when it comes to the main plot line, because that changes a lot of things, really. Because I think a lot of people thought that maybe that Aether and Lumine, the two characters, well, this is supposed to be Aether, but it's also the player character in which we role play through. But in this case, Aether and Lumine, if they came from a spaceship, then that would deny the idea of them just being travelers across the stars, like as two individuals that can kind of just like in my head it was like envisioning you see them as two shooting stars crossing going across the cosmos. That's what I would have in my head, because there's no mention of a spaceship. Now all of a sudden there's a fucking spaceship, which is like, oh, that changes the perspective of Aether and Lumine a lot. That means that they have an origin planet. That they likely have an origin planet. They likely weren't the only ones on that spaceship. I mean, well, that might not be true. But there's so much speculation to be made that doesn't need to be made. And the other issue is bringing it up as if we knew about it. You don't do that in storytelling. It's basic. Fucking basic. I cannot stress this enough. This is I'm sure the story will be fine. But the fact that this is now a piece of information that we just for some reason know, apparently I think what Hoyoverse probably thinks is that we're supposed to act like this was talked about off screen, like as they maybe like when they were set up like camping or whatever. I think that's what they expect us to think, but you cannot that's not our responsibility. We do not have the responsibility as the consumers of the content to infer something as basic as information like this that you could have brought up at the beginning of the game or mentioned at some point as like maybe a recollected memory or something of that sort. So, really shit. I'm not going to say shit storytelling, because the storytelling otherwise has been pretty good for me, I think, at least. But this is a really big hiccup in storytelling, and as I wouldn't like I fucking picked up my headset and I was like, I need to talk about this because this has irked me so much because it pisses me off so much. So, yeah, this is basic storytelling 101. Don't hide shit from, at least in video games, don't hide shit from your players. Don't hide vital information that these players should probably know and then act as if they do know it. Okay, that's it. Bye.